This is the No BS Coaching Advice Podcast, episode 130. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I like to spend some time weekly talking with you about some aspect of life, the universe, everything. I'm not going to do a show next Monday. I'm going to be traveling back from New York, where I'll be visiting my son for Father's Day. So you're just going to live without me for 2 weeks. I think you can figure out how to do that. And today I just want to talk with you about some of those messages that live within your ears. That we used to say were tapes playing in your head, but tapes is so antiquated. The voices that are streaming there that are just reminding you of things that you're imperfect at. Whose voice is that? Where'd you get that message from? And more important, is it right? Is the voice that's streaming there right? You know, so many people, when I ask that question they really hesitate because they've never really thought about it. And some of them will say, sometimes it is. But then do you know how to recognize when it isn't? So much of our life comes from others' side remarks. A parent, a former employer, a friend. I put friend in air quotes, by the way. An off-the-cuff remark that just got through at a time when you were most vulnerable. But the question is it right? Forget about their opinion. Opinions come in so frequently. They come in such heavy volume. But everyone's got opinions about stuff. But do you believe that they're right? Because if you do, that changes everything. As it does if you realize that the voice isn't right. Jealousy, envy. These are very complex emotions that are derived from loss. Loss of status, loss of a relationship, fear of loss, fear of a relationship, loss of status, something. And when we feel jealous or envious of someone, we minimize their success, we imitate them, we're competitive with them, often without them knowing it. We celebrate when they screw up, we talk about them, and in some way, shape, or form, our jealousy or envy changes into a form of hatred. Do you really want to feel hatred over something that's really as small as it often is? Probably not. And what can you do to interrupt that message? There's a wonderful concept in Buddhism called offering the victory and accepting the defeat. Someone did better than you at something. You can feel badly that you didn't succeed, but you can be happy for them that they succeeded. That they failed, that's not a good thing. And you didn't fail either. They happen to do better than you. There's no reason to talk behind someone's back. After all, what good does that do anyway? You have temporary, you're enrolling a co-conspirator in your story. And if they join you, so what? What are you accomplishing? Messages in our head that we should be better than them, hey, it's just another voice that's streaming between your ears that's not really doing any good. Is it right? Is this person really better, or was this a unique success that they had that perhaps you could have done better at? What's the lesson you take away from this experience that you can apply going forward? Many of the messages that play in our head are misinterpretations. I'll use a stereotypic one from hetero couples. A woman says to her husband or to the man in her life, "Are you going to wear that?" He hears it as criticism. She's saying it, well, maybe there's a little criticism in there, but she's saying, I know you could look better than this, and I want to help you by pointing it out to you. Is she hating on the man in her life? No. She's trying to help. So often these things that play in our head, maybe they were attempts to help. Maybe they were, you're not doing as well as I believe you can. There's a whole bunch of things other than that message that's streaming between your ears that could have been meant by that message. I know with my wife, she picks her words carefully with me. Not because I'm a bad guy or a mean husband, not at all. But she wants to make sure I hear what she's trying to say, and she tries to communicate with me in a way where I can receive it. She picks her times when she thinks it's appropriate. Otherwise, we each have great lives individually and together, and both of us support one another. Where can you be that kind of a spouse? Where can you be that kind of a partner? Where you support someone being even better than what they are, while at the same time adoring them for who they are. So I'm going to just simply say, as I roll out today's show, happy Father's Day to those of you who celebrate. Again, I'll be back in 2 weeks with another show. So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to the show. Just subscribe so you get downloads whenever I release a new episode. Each show is going to be bite-sized morsels of advice just like today's. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope you subscribe. And if you do choose to subscribe, I hope you decide to support the show. There's a link that will take you to anchor.fm where you can make a pledge in support of the show. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in my coaching you, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to the show. I just happen to like knowing I'm helping some folks. And once we're connected, message me about your interest in coaching. We'll set up a free call. We'll get acquainted, see if it makes sense. I'll be back soon with more. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Take care. Time for